Yo, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your support. Scorpio season was a hell of a ride. So today we're going to do a video. We're going to cover, very simply put, the 3 best ways to manifest during the Sagittarius New Moon. All right. And I'm really excited to be doing this video because a lot of you struggle with astrology and a lot of you struggle with manifestation and a lot of you struggle with something called self-concept. If you're watching this video and you just got on this video and you're new here and you don't know what self-concept is, I need everyone to type it in the comment section for me in the chat so that I know you're understanding what I just said. Self-concept is going to be a huge game changer in manifestation for you, because it's going to help you understand exactly what it is that you need to be doing to actually bring your manifestations into reality. So everyone comment self-concept. If you're on this live, if you're watching this video, type self-concept in the comment section for me so I know you are alive and well. Okay. So big thing is we're going to cover today is the new moon meaning. We're going to talk about kazimis. We're going to talk about fire sign moons and how this is going to affect you. And we're going to talk about the rising signs and how this is going to affect everyone. All right. So make sure to stay until the very end to make sure that I talk about your sign and how it's going to affect you. Big takeaways here today is you're going to definitely learn how to take action, practical action on your manifestations for the next few weeks until the next full moon. And my other goal today is to educate you on ways that you can start making more money. I would love to make a follow-up video to this one on specific ways that you should be making money, especially if you own a spiritual business during the new moon. So I'll make that after this one. But for this one initially, let's talk about new moons and what they represent and why they're important. So if everyone's ready, please type in new moon. We're just going to dive into it. All right. Let me share my screen with you. Let me share my screen with you, Lord. All right. So how many of you are familiar with this here? This is a transit chart. Everyone type in transit chart in the chat so I know you're alive and well. Transit charts in astrology show you where and what the planets are doing in the moment, okay? This is how astrologers are able to predict and understand what's going to be happening to who. So I use this to predict what's going to be happening to you, to me, for my business, for your business, so that we can make more money, so that we can, if something hard is going to come up, we're able to understand it. By the way, I need to just lay this out very quickly before we go any further. I do not believe in good or bad. That is my philosophy to life. I don't believe in good or bad astrology. I never have. I never intend to. There's very hard placements and very hard planets that are in certain houses. But ultimately, if you know how to use what the planet means or the house means or the zodiac sign, I genuinely feel like you can turn any really shitty placement into a really positive one. All right. And excuse my unprofessionalism, but there are some really hard placements. Like, for example, I have a Mercury in Pisces in the 12th house. It's one of the least effective communicating planets that you could have in that zodiac sign. And I'm still able to get 600,000 followers on TikTok. I'm still able to have a podcast and do all these things that require a high level of communication. So just know that if you are struggling with your goals or your dreams and you think it's because of your chart, I see a lot of people say, oh, I'm too shy because I have Scorpio placements. That's a lie. Okay. What you're really trying to say is that you have a fear of being seen, and that's okay. All right. So that's one of the big things I just wanted to lay out real quick before we dive too deep into anything. My philosophy is, the more you know about the planet, the more you know about the zodiac sign and the houses, the more you know about yourself. Is that clear with everyone? If it is, type 111 in the chat for me So I know you're on par and you're in alignment with me there. Now, if you're on my TikTok, which I do have TikTok live going right now, hop over to the YouTube channel so you can see my screen so that you can actually see what I'm talking about here, because we're going to be talking about the new moon meaning and what kazimis mean. All right. So in this calculator here, I'm going to go to the 23rd. The 23rd is the day of the kazimi. So when you're looking at this chart, essentially every month, every 30 days, 29 days, there's a new zodiac sign shift. The one that we're looking for today is Sagittarius. Everyone type Sagittarius in the chat for me so I know you are paying attention, okay? Pay attention because more than likely I will answer your question, okay? So we are in Sagittarius season in just a few hours, right? The big thing here is the moon and the sun are going to be next to each other. That is what a new moon means. A full moon is when the moon is opposite the sun, because the sun is shining across Earth, essentially, and making the moon look full, okay? So when the moon is right next to the sun, this is called a kazimi, all right? So again, new moons are for new things, to start new things. If you've been wanting to start a new project, start a new relationship, start a new business, start a new hobby, start a new routine, this is the right time to do it, is during a new moon. Everyone type new moon if you heard what I said, all right? Everyone type new moon so that you know. So this is the symbol of Sagittarius here, all right? Now, when the moon is next to the sun, what's happening is the moon is dark, all right? Even though it's right next to the sun, the moon is dark because the moon is in front, at least to us on Earth here, is in front of the sun, yeah? So the big thing is here, this is the right time to start something brand new, okay? This is not the time for thinking. A lot of you have been wanting to leave your job. You want to switch majors. You want to leave your old partner, anything like this. It's time, okay? It's time. The 23rd is the right day to begin this. You can even start now, okay? Everyone type now. I think that's a huge step. So when the new moon is happening in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, there's two things that I want you to pay attention to, all right? Now I'm going to bring up, let me see if I can bring up a new tab here for us. I need to get an extra camera or something, yeah? Hold on, I think I can share my entire screen with you. Hold on, let me close something. I don't want y'all seeing what's in my DMs, what's in my text. That'd be crazy. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Infinite loop, cool. Can y'all still see my screen? Okay, so if you are ovulating or on your period, I do have this ebook on my website. It's called Monthly Matters. If you bleed during a full moon or a new moon, that's totally fine. Make sure to grab this book. It's a free digital download. It'll show you when you bleed during a new moon, purple moon, white moon, pink moon cycle, what it means. Right now, if you're ovulating or on your period, you are in a white moon cycle. It's possible that you could have been a pink moon cycler if you're just finishing, okay? The meaning of the cycle that you're in is in this PDF for you. I just wanted to make sure that you all know that. Now, the big thing here is this graph here that I'm showing you is called the key to you. I created this last year when I was trying to understand astrology for myself better, more quickly. And there's a lot of things going on here, but what I want you to do is focus on the line in the row where it says fire here, and then on the row where it says Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a fire sign, okay? When we have a new moon in a fire sign, this is a good time to start things that have to do with fire signs. So when we're looking at the fire sign in astrology, it's going to be Sagittarius, and fire signs represent inspiration and encouragement. So for the next 30 days, the big thing that you want to be doing in your business, in your relationships, and with yourself is encouraging and inspiring yourself. If you've been depressed, if you've been sad, if shit hasn't been going good for you for several days, it's because you're lacking inspiration and encouragement. Usually, I notice inspiration and encouragement is best when you have it from other people, or when you are giving it to another group of people that can be a feedback loop for you. Okay. So, another thing that you're going to really want to focus in on this month is, because Sagittarius is something called a mutable sign. Okay. That's the modality of Sagittarius. It's a mutable sign. It's a huge month where a lot of changes and adapting is going to be necessary. So you can be a Scorpio, you can be an Aries, you can be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, whatever. Just know that this is going to be the theme, and the best thing to do to manifest, number one, is going to be to inspire, encourage, adapt, and change. Inspire, encouraging, adapting, and changing is going to be the number one way to manifest, okay, this month. And I really want you to all like sit with that energy, because it's going to help you, okay? When you're feeling lost, when you're laying in bed watching Netflix, thinking about, contemplating your life, or, someone that you've been talking to suddenly wants to be in a relationship and you're like nervous, think about how inspiring and encouraging and how you're going to be able to adapt and change. All right. So that's what I wanted to cover real quick with that piece for you. That's going to be the first way to address manifestation. How many of you know what manifestation is? Go ahead and type that in the chat for me so I know we're on the same page. Because a lot of people, I think, have this idea of manifestation, and certain ideas of manifestation could be holding you back. It could be holding you back heavy. And I don't want that to be the case. All right. So next, let's talk about the kazimi. What is manifestation, y'all? Manifestation, before we get into part 2 on how to best manifest with this new moon, manifestation is taking an idea or a thought and bringing it into reality. So if you wake up in the morning and you want to drink matcha, and you drive to the Starbucks and you get matcha, and then you go to work, that's a manifestation. Okay. You thought about something, and then you did everything you needed to do to go get that thing. Everyone type 222 if that is crystal clear, because I see a lot of people, they, I even saw a video today from Emotions. He dropped a video about the bay leaf method. And he wanted to get 1.1 million followers on TikTok. He wrote that down on the leaf, but then he also posted every single day. Yeah. So he also, to get that 1.1 million followers, he posted every single day content that his audience specifically wants. And that's how the manifestation came together. He thought about it and then did something to do it. Okay. Type 333 if you're catching what I'm saying. Because when we're manifesting with a new moon, especially a kazimi, you can't just write it down and not do anything. I think that's like the huge disconnect, is people don't do anything. They want to start a podcast. They want to start a YouTube. They want to start getting into fashion, but then they never do anything to actually close that gap. So that's the mistake that a lot of you are making, and that's the mistake that a lot of you can fix. All right. And I'm really happy to have this conversation with you, because I think a lot of you can, if you start taking the steps, reach your manifestations. So everyone type, what is your upcoming manifestation? One of my manifestations is I want to hit 700,000 followers, 750,000 followers before the year ends. So I have, a month to get 100,000 followers. I think I can do it, but I want to make sure that you also write down what your manifestations are. Okay. So, and make them really clear. Some of you, you're like, oh, I want to move. Where? Oh, I want to get a new job. Doing what? Okay. Pick something that you actually love and enjoy. And if you want to make more money, doing what? Selling what? Giving what to people? If you're someone who's on the healing journey and you want to help people, help them doing what? Okay. Like really, really be crystal clear. What do you want to give? What do you want to get? And having digits and having dollar amounts is really important. Because just to finish up this idea, I've read about 4,000 charts this year alone. And I've had a lot of people who, when we're talking, they'll say, I'm healing right now. And I'll be like, okay, cool. What does that mean? Like, what does healing look like to you? And they'll be like, oh, I'm just like creating abundance. And I'm like, an abundance of what? Oh, abundance of, just feeling good. I've been manifesting getting an abundance of money. Sweetheart, what does that mean? Like, how much money? A month? A year? What's the dollar amount? Because if we're not clear about that, it's going to make it really hard for us to manifest, especially using astrology. Okay. Lorelai says, learning more astrology, just purchase extra courses, manifest with action. Facts, 100%. So, kazimis. Everyone type the word kazimi. 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 Kazimi is when the sun and the moon are exactly right on top of each other at the same degree. Okay. A kazimi happens every month, and there is a 1.5 hour window. Okay. So at exactly, as you can see on the screen here, at 4:49 p.m. Central Time, okay, there will be a kazimi happening. Every time there's a kazimi, it is the best time to manifest. There are other astrologers who will tell you other things. I am telling you from my experience and from the experience of astrologers who are much older than me, and a lot of them are even dead, that have recommended that during the exact moment that the moon and the sun are together, we want to write down what we want to manifest. Last year, during the Sagittarius New Moon kazimi, I wrote down that I wanted to be making $10,000 a month from my business, helping people around the world. I was able to accomplish that within a month of writing that down on the Sagittarius New Moon. Remember, having a very specific number or like an idea of what you want, and then also the action that you need to do right next to it is really going to help you. If you don't take action on your manifestations, it's impossible for your manifestations to come to you. Okay. I want you all to be very clear on that, because I don't want to give you bullshit. I don't want to give you false hope. You do need to do the things that are necessary to get what you want. If you want to be famous, but you don't post, you don't go out, you don't do anything for anybody, you just work your job and you go home and watch Netflix, babe, you're never going to get famous. I promise you. Okay. And I mean to hurt your feelings with that, because if you want something, you do need to be realistic. All right. So kazimi is going to be the new moon route to applying this. Now, what you're going to want to do is write down 10 dreams, wishes that you want to accomplish. Everyone write 10 wishes in the comment section for me, so I know you're paying attention. This is really good because when we are writing down our manifestations, if you don't have 10, that's totally fine. I'm giving you a few days grace to kind of figure out what you do want. If you want to have, a better income, a really good relationship. And I think Jessica, who is a previous client of mine, Jessica said being in a healthy feminine energy so I can attract my healthy masculine energy. That's a great start. When we're manifesting, I would even go as far as saying being in my healthy feminine with my routine and my daily actions so I can attract a healthy masculine who is willing to provide and protect me and communicate with me consistently. I would get very detailed with it so that when that person comes into your life, you will know without a doubt, because they're being consistent, because they say they want to provide for you, because they're also being masculine, you will know internally in your head, logically, and in your heart, emotionally, that this is the right person. But if we're not clear, we're going to completely guess. And I hate guessing. Okay. So I hope that's really clear for you. When you're manifesting with a kazimi, with a new moon, be specific. It's okay to be specific. I know a lot of other people have told you in the past, keep it general. You don't want to wish too hard, this and that. That's a lie, because if you go to a job right now and you're at the interview and they ask you how much do you want to be making an hour or a month, you're not going to say in abundance. No, you're going to say a dollar amount, right? Yes or no? Okay. If you go to an interview at your job, you're not going to say, I want an abundance of money. I want to be living in my high. If they ask you, oh, what are some of your skills living in my highest purpose? You're not going to say that. You're going to have to bring it into reality. Why? Because we are all here in the 3D still. Also, you can be 5-dimensional, 10-dimensional, 12 dimensions, cool. But also, we're still here in the 3D, folks. So get clear about dollar amounts, get clear about relationship types. If you want someone who's loyal and faithful to you, write that down. If you say you want someone who's obsessed with you, guess what? You're going to attract that. And that obsession may not last very long. Okay. Be really clear. So during the kazimi, I like to write down 10 things. I usually burn candles, I'll burn incense, or I'll take a bath during the kazimi. Me personally, I like to write down a bunch of things before the kazimi actually happens. And then during the kazimi, I will look at that list and rewrite those 10 things down so that I know exactly what to be writing down for my manifestation. All right. So that's all for this step 1. Step 2, the second best way to manifest with this new moon is going to be to look at where you have fire in your chart. Okay. So since Jessica's here, I'm going to use your chart. I hope that's totally cool with you. I'm going to hide your chart information, of course. Can everyone see Jess's chart? I have her chart because we've worked together for like pretty much beginning of this year. Anaya says, can I manifest a better relationship with the partner I already have? 100%. But you got to be really clear about what that is. Do you want to improve the communication? Do you want to improve the intimacy? Do you want to improve the teamwork? Do you want to improve the partnership and the dynamics around, making decisions? Just be very clear. Sci-Fi Shorty asks, what times are kazimis usually? That is not how kazimis work. Kazimis are always going to be a different time, and it's always going to be when the moon is crossing the sun. So you do need to have a calculator to see when that's happening. They are not on a specific time. You're going to have to either know how to find when the new moon is crossing the sun, or you can just pay attention to my content. I do love making content about new moons because they're my favorite time to manifest, but there's no usual time at all. Is that clear? Was that helpful? Cool. So the best way to figure out how to utilize this new moon and manifest with it, the second best way is to look at where you have fire in your chart. So everyone has fire in their chart. Everyone, I need you to actually, if you're watching this, please type 12 in the chat for me. Hit me with a 12, please. Hit me with a 12. Everyone, type 12 in the chat. Everyone type 12 in the chat. Everyone has 12 zodiac signs in their chart. Everyone has 12 houses in their chart. Everyone has 12 houses in their chart. Everyone, if you're on CoStar, how many of you rely on CoStar? How many of you rely on CoStar? Because if you do, you need to click on the chart section. There's a graph section and there's a chart section. You need to click on the chart section to see this. All right. So in Jessica's chart here, she has an intercepted chart, which an interception just means that she was born during a transitional period. Okay. So her Sagittarius house is intercepted. All right. So Sagittarius, during the Sagittarius new moon, the house that you want to look for is the house where you have Sagittarius, the house where you have Aries, and the house where you have Leo. Everyone type Aries, Leo, Sag in the chat for me so I know you're paying attention. And if you're on TikTok watching me, if you're on something else watching me or listening to this, make sure to type Aries, Leo, Sag. Now, if you're Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius moon, you are about to feel really good. Why? Because fire sign moons are for inspiring and encouraging. Does everyone remember that from earlier? Inspire and encouraging. Anytime there's a fire sign moon, everyone feels more inspired and encouraged. And if you are stuck in a depressed mood, if you are stuck in fear, if you are stuck in anxiety, if you are stuck in pity, if you are stuck in shame, and you're not removed from this naturally, it's because you're not doing the things that Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo like to do. Okay? The main thing that these signs need to do is be loud and be vocal and be very clear about what you want to be taking action on. All right. So how do we do that? First of all, sunlight. Everyone type sunlight. You need sunlight. If it's cold outside and you're sticking yourself in your house all day, you're not getting enough sunlight, and this is going to depress you. This is going to bring you anxiety. This is going to bring you fear. I need you all to be getting sunlight 30 minutes a day minimum wherever you live. Okay? You need sunlight. All right? You also need exercise. You can go for a long walk. You can go swimming. You can do yoga. You can just stretch for 30 minutes. Anything. All right? Your body is the first thing that you should be manifesting with, and your health is what leads to healing. If you aren't focusing on your health, I promise you healing is going to be much more difficult. Notice how heal is in the word health, right? Isn't that interesting? The word healing, heal is in the word health. Did you ever notice that? So we need to focus in on your health. This will be really good for us because the more you focus on your health, the more you will be able to manifest. Yeah. So exercise and sweating is a huge deal. All of you need to be sweating once a day. How you choose to sweat is totally up to you, but I highly recommend you do it. As a business owner, I literally, when I started exercising consistently, when I started actually going to the gym, when I started eating for my body to be more in shape, I started making more money because I had more energy. I could work until midnight, 4 o'clock, and sleep for 4 hours and sleep really hard and wake up and meditate for 2 hours. All right. It wasn't until I started taking care of my body that I was able to run my business more effectively. All right. So I just want to be clear with you all. If you're not exercising, it's going to be really, really hard for you to be able to manifest. Anaya says, does sweating by making love count? Yeah, if you're sweating for about 30 minutes, 100%. I would say the big thing is just sweat once a day, 7 days a week, and you will start to see your manifestations come through really well for you. That was a great question. All right, so Jessica has her chart in these spaces. Let me just, can I pause this real quick? 1 second. I don't want y'all to see her chart information, so I'm just gonna, one of the things that I need y'all to do, if you're brand new to astrology, I need you to go to whole signs. So I'll show you what that looks like. All right, y'all can see my screen again, right? Cool. What's up, TikTok folks? There's more people on TikTok than there are on YouTube. That's weird. Go to the YouTube, please. Why are y'all just sitting here? Anyway. So, can everyone see my screen? Okay, cool. So if you don't have your chart pulled up, by the way, at this point, I really highly recommend you pull up your chart right now for this part of the video. When you go to astro.com, I recommend astro.com or astro-seek.com. I just typed it in the chat for you. Go to astro.com or astro-seek and put in your birth chart information. Make sure it says whole signs in the calculator. So when you put in your birth chart information, you're putting it into a calculator. Make sure it says whole signs so that this is a lot easier for us to understand. All right. So now when I look at Jessica's chart, it says here that Sagittarius is in her 12th house, which means that Jessica should be starting things in her 12th house. Okay. New things in her 12th house, in alignment with her 12th house. Her Aries sun is in her 4th house, which is the house of home, of women. All right. In her 8th house, she has Leo. So her 12th house, her 4th house, and her 8th house are going to be the houses that are going to be good to manifest with on this new moon. All right. Now I'm going to show you what all of the houses mean. I'm not going to go through what all of the houses mean until the end of this video. All right. So does anyone have any questions about that? Because once you find out all the fire sign houses in your chart, you're going to know exactly what this new moon is going to do to you and how it's going to play out. All right. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is look for that. You're going to want to look for Sagittarius in your chart. So where do you have Sagittarius in your chart? For me, I have it in my 9th house. Jessica has it in her 12th house. You do have Sagittarius in your chart. You just need to find out with the whole sign calculator exactly where it is. And this is going to help you figure out the second best way for you to manifest with the new moon. All right. Let me find my house meaning PDF here for you. I have it in presentation for you. I'll get it. All right. I think it's actually in my book. I have a book. What house is Sagittarius in for you, folks? Someone says second house. I see 10th house, fire. Okay, can everyone see this? Can everyone see this part of my screen? Okay. So when we are working with new moons, every house is going to be different. So look at the screen right now, and where is Sagittarius in your chart? Okay. So for Jessica, she's going to have Sagittarius in her 12th house, which is this house here where it says 12. In the 12th house, this is very simple. So the new moon represents what? Everyone type in the chat. What does the new moon mean? Just off of the new moon meaning. Don't include the Sagittarius. Don't include that part yet. What is a new moon for? It's for starting new things. Starting new things. Starting new things. Okay? Her Sagittarius is in her 12th house. The 12th house is the house of endings. The new moon is to start new things. Yeah? So what does that mean? When you are starting new things in the house of endings, it means that we are taking anything that we have finished and we're starting new. So let's just say Jessica's been talking to a guy for a few months now, and he's just not stepping up. He's not being masculine. He's just not showing up in the way that she's manifesting, right? This is the time for Jessica to start a ending with that relationship. As an example, the 12th house has to do with healing. So key thing here is if you are Sagittarius 12th house or Capricorn rising, it's time to start healing more. And healing meaning focusing on your health. All right. The 12th house and the 6th house are very similar in that regard because they're on the same axis, which means they're across from each other. So start healing, start closure, start solitude, start spirituality. I've been seeing Jessica's been posting a lot, and she's been going live a lot. She's been sharing her spirituality. She's been, I can tell, in solitude because she's focused on her goals, right? So the 12th house has to do with spirituality, karma, and old age. How do you start old age? Well, when you're starting with a new moon and you want to, if you want to start something new and it has to do with old age, because the 12th house has to do with old age, how can you prevent yourself from aging? Okay, this is where you need to get a little bit creative. You can't just like look at it and be like super logical here. You also have to have some right brain energy, some intuition coming in. So the 12th house has to do with the afterlife. Does that mean Jessica's going to die? No, I mean, at some point, maybe. I hope not. I hope she never, ever. I mean, if you want to die, whatever, that's a conversation between you and, but the afterlife, if you have new moon in your 12th house, this is the time for you to start conversations about the afterlife, maybe looking at creating a will, or if you have people from who have passed, communicating, starting a new conversation with the afterlife. Okay, so you want to start new things in the house that you have Sagittarius in. Okay, she has the 12th house is limiting beliefs. So Jessica, if you have limiting beliefs, you want to start new things to address those limiting beliefs, which I'm sure you're doing because this is what the new moon does. All right. And subconscious, if you want to do more subconscious work, I know you do Reiki, but how can you make Reiki more subconscious? All right. This is how you would use a full moon. And this is how you can predict what will happen to you during a new moon. Also, Is this helpful, clear for anyone? Am I making sense? Yeah? Let me check in with y'all. Cool. So someone says, what about cusp? Fuck cusp. They don't exist. I don't believe in them. Cusp are a scam. The reason why I say that with so much confidence is because there's house lines in the chart. Okay. There's house lines in the chart. And when people say they're a cusp to me, I know that they're not paying attention. All right. The only way you can genuinely 100% be a cusp is if you have 29 or 0 degrees. Even then, to say that you're a cusp means that you're 2 signs in one specific planet, when technically that's just not possible. Even if you're at 29 degrees in a planet, you're still inside of one zodiac sign. Even if you're at 0 degrees in another sign, in a planet, in a point, you're still in one zodiac sign. So there's no such thing as cusp in regards to, oh, I'm a cusp baby. I'm a Capricorn and Aquarius. No, it's just not possible, because there's degrees, and the degrees show you exactly what house is going to be that planet that we're talking about. Jessica says, yes, literally my life right now. So amazing. Thank you. You're super welcome. Like I said, Ariana, too, big thing is, if you aren't you have to use whole signs to make sure that you're seeing things correctly. Don't use Placidus, because it's going to confuse you. I need you all to be using whole signs, at least in the beginning here. When you become more trained astrologers, then I would say go to Placidus, Porphyry, which is what CoStar uses, Porphyry. All right. So does everyone understand now the houses? Yeah. So which house do you have Sagittarius in? Go and, possibly you want to pause the video, you want to screenshot this, whatever, but write down what I do every single month that there's a kazimi. I write down every single thing in the house. So for example, I'm in Aries rising. The new moon is on the 23rd. Starting new travel, I'm literally traveling on the 26th, right? So 3 days after the new moon, wisdom. I'm going to start being more wise. I'm going to start talking more about philosophy, new education, new higher education. I have a whole school that I'm going to be announcing this week on social media for the first time ever. I've had about 150 students go through and learn how to grow on social media, teaching people astrology, teaching people mindset, teaching people how to make money, and how to make $10,000 a month, like I've done for the last year. I'm going to show that off this week because it's a new moon. Yeah. Law and religion. These are 2 things that I'm going to be starting to talk about more in my content. Cross-cultural. I've definitely been in relationships with my partners around the world. They are all from different cultures because I practice polyamory. Yeah. So relations. What is relations? It's a relationship between you and another person. Yeah. So starting new relations, learning, huge. I'm going to be teaching and learning new things because the new moon is in my 9th house, and the 9th house has to do with learning. Yeah. And then ethics. This is a conversation I had earlier, being more ethical in my work, in my business. How do I do that? Really, for me, it's just being new and clear and over communicating so that people feel comfortable. Yeah. So this is how we look at the different houses. Okay. Did you all see which house that you have Sagittarius in? Did you all see that? Did you all see the chart I just put up? Is anyone confused? Because I'm giving you visuals, telling you everything. And if you are confused, totally fine. I do have all of my readings and all of my services, all of my books are 50% off this week. If you need a one-on-one reading, if you need me to answer a specific question for you, if you need help with anything like that, go to my website, sunnymfmoney.com. All of my readings, all of my books, all of my everything is 50% off this week. Yeah. So this is how we can start to understand how to best manifest with the new moon. Now, I will say the one thing I'm not going to include in this video because it would add another 45 minutes to an hour to the video is there are 10 planets. There are 10 planets. There are about 14 different points, and there's about 3,000 to 4,000 asteroids. When you start adding in planets, points, and asteroids, this is where things get a little bit more specific. So for example, if you have like, Jessica doesn't have any planets in her, Jessica doesn't have any planets in her 12th house. She doesn't have any planets in her 12th house, which means that there's no more to do for that. It's called delineation. Okay. Delineation is when you explain something that's complex and you put it into a really small box. And I just wanted to clarify that with you. I know I've seen a lot of people on TikTok. I know y'all are my followers and like y'all really support and rock with me, but there's a lot of people on TikTok right now going around saying that I am a very like toxic person. I don't know astrology. I don't know this and that. One of the key reasons why this happens to me is because I have a Sagittarius moon, and I do definitely sometimes I will say something and I'm hoping everyone's on the same page as me, and I've realized that that is not the case. So that's why I'm going to be doing more of these YouTube videos so that we can all be on the same page, because I know something doesn't mean that you know. And I've realized this. It was a character flaw. So I'm going to be sharing more about these things with you. And also, if you do want additional help, please book a reading with me. This week is going to be the best price that you'll ever get, because I want to help you understand this. And I want to help you manifest and make a plan. Because if you have a good plan and you have someone helping you, the likelihood of you succeeding is way higher than if you're trying to do this by yourself, looking on 50 different websites and through 3 different TikToks. Yeah. So stepping into this mode this month is going to be huge. If you have Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries placements, this is a really great time for you to step into this mode by doing what? Inspiring and encouraging yourself, people, and everyone around you. The more inspired and encouraged you feel, the more you'll get done, because a lot of you are not, it's not that you don't know what to do. It's not that you don't know to work out. It's not that you don't know you should leave your job. It's not that you don't know you should, work on your relationship dynamics. It's that you don't have the support system yet. So that's one of the things that before the year ends, I'm going to be implementing more of into my content, is a support system for us so that we can grow together. I think that's going to be huge. How many of you would like that? I think that would be really helpful and good for a lot of us here, so that we can actually manifest, so that we can actually grow, and so that we can feel supported. Because when you have spiritual friends that you can talk to about things, I feel like it's a lot better than, I know a lot of you are the spiritual friend, and a lot of people come to you and they'll trauma dump on you. They'll come in, like they'll tell you, they'll rely on you for support, but then when you call them, they don't have much to say. People just not showing up for you on the same level that you show up for them. I know a lot of you deal with that, and I know that that can make you like very angry and frustrated. So as of right now, we have a lot of our community on Discord. My plan is to move that to possibly Telegram, The Discord is still open. It's just that we haven't been active in there. And I know Telegram is a little bit more, it pops off a little bit harder. So just look for that. I'll be announcing something. And my real goal is for you all to not be like feeling drained and lost. Okay. So now part 3, let's finish this up. Okay. Third best way to manifest is by using your rising sign. Okay. So we're going to go through the different houses and the different rising signs real quick. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would appreciate that a lot. Make sure to like this video as well for this part 3. If anyone's keeping track of the time for me, if you could please timestamp this video, that'd be fire. I'll probably end up doing it too. But yeah, let's dive in. So rising sign astrology, how does this work? How does this apply itself to us? So when we're using rising sign astrology, the key thing is we need to know where the new moon is in our chart. And it's really good to know where it is in other people's charts that are around you. A lot of people after eclipse season went through some very deep changes. Yeah. So the big thing is that we want to focus in on how to manifest with our rising sign. And I might, this video is taking about an hour. So moving forward, I might break this down into 3 different videos just for the sake of time. But if you have Sagittarius rising, okay, Sagittarius rising, your new moon is going to be around your appearance, yourself, beginnings, your body, first impressions. You need to go and have new first impressions, which means you need to leave your house and you need to go talk to people. Scary, yeah? Good for you also. Your attitude, make a new one. If you've been sad and dreary and hurt from the breakup, fine, good. Also, be cheery, happy-go-lucky, and we want to put ourselves in a position where we are inspiring other people, because that's what Sagittarius does, no matter where it is in your chart. You don't need to have Sagittarius planets to be using Sagittarius energy. That is not a condition of manifesting with astrology. To manifest with astrology, you simply need to know where things are happening in your chart so that you can use the energy. Yeah. So everyone type 111 in the chat for me. Type 111 in the chat for me if you're paying attention. All right. And if you need help with understanding what Sagittarius means for the different planets, I'm going to have to set a boundary. You're going to have to book a reading with me. All right. Because there's 10 planets, which means there's automatically 100. There's 10 times 12. 10 times 12, 1200. Yeah. Or excuse me, 120 different combinations. 10 times 12, 120 combinations. I cannot and will not sit here and go through all 120 combinations with you in this YouTube video. So, second house Sag, yeah? Second house Sagittarius. If the new moon is in your Sagittarius house and you are a Scorpio rising, money, new money. Okay, how do we manifest new money? How do we manifest with astrology new money? Well, sweetheart, if you have a job and if you're a Scorpio moon, or excuse me, rising, you need to start doing something new for money. You cannot just rely on that one job to give you new money. Because if you haven't been working that long, or you just got a raise, or they're at budget, or we're in a recession, don't rely on one thing for new money, Scorpio rising, because the second house is wherever you have your second house, whatever zodiac sign, it's the best way for you to manifest money. I have a Taurus second house, and I know I need to be selling clothes, music, jewelry, things like this, which is something I just understood more deeply. All right. Because your second house is the house of work. Your second house is the house of income, daily routines, values, material possessions, priorities, habits, your job, and your worth ethic. If you don't know what your second house means yet, please do some research or book a reading with me. I would love to tell you what my really successful clients, how they utilize it, because it's such a great house to have anything, even if it's just a zodiac. If you don't have planets in your second house, does that mean you don't make money? No. I don't have planets in my second house and I make a lot of money. Not a lot, but like a lot of enough money. Yeah. So make sure you study your second house. If you're a Scorpio rising, this is a great time for you to start a new business, start a new way of making money. What are your values? What are your routines looking like? What are your priorities? Make some new ones. If you've been prioritizing this thing and it's not working, make some new priorities. Yeah. Third house Sag. If you're a third house Sag or a Libra rising, I believe, Libra rising, you're going to have new mental things happening for you. The third house has to do with the mind, thinking, siblings, social activities, interest, education at a young age, your inner circle, and neighbors and communication. So if you're a Libra rising, the new thing that's going to happen for you is you're going to start thinking differently. Your siblings are going to be having a new relationship with you. You're going to be going to new social events with other people. Your interests are going to change. Okay. Early education is going to be a thing for you. You're going to be learning something new. Yeah. And then inner circle, your closest friends might change. Yeah. That you might, instead of Stacy Lou, it might be Jenny Who. Yeah. Or it might be Tommy, or it might be Jake. I don't know. I'm just throwing, American names at you. It could be Szechuan, or it could be whoever. Really, it could be a new friend that you've already known, but they're going to come closer. Fourth house, Sagittarius, which is Virgo rising. Yeah. Virgo rising, this is a time for you to move houses, a new home, or change the things inside of your home. Clean your house. Do things around your house that are going to help you. The fourth house has to do with roots. And because you have Sagittarius in your fourth house, it has to do with roots, family, self-care, your emotions, foundations, the mother, women, and femininity. It's a time for you to start new roots with your family. If you know your family's lineage and you've been struggling to connect with them and your ancestry, go deeper. Go do the ancestry.com thing. Yeah. It's time for you to start a new routine with your self-care. If you're having emotions about something or somebody, what are the new feelings on top of that or next to that you can also learn about? How can you take foundations more seriously in your life? What new foundations can you put into your life to have a better life? Your mom, how is she doing? Virgo rising, how is she doing? Check in on her. You might need to have a new conversation with her about something. All right. Women in your life, what is that looking like? Are the women in your life taking, giving, or are you mutually helping each other? Yeah. Femininity, if you are a male or a female or a man, woman, or if you're masculine or a feminine person, what does femininity mean to you? If you have a Virgo rising, this is the time to step into that because there's a new thing coming up. Is anyone lost with anything? I see some people on my TikTok live are not on the YouTube for some reason, and they're asking me questions. That doesn't make sense. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? You think I'm going to look at both screens? Do I look like a robot to you? I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. Mom. All right. Let's keep going. So who's left? Yeah. We did Sagittarius rising, we did Scorpio rising, we did Libra rising, we did Virgo rising. Next, we're going to do Leo. I wish I had another monitor. So if you are a Leo rising, this is going to be a great month and a new moon for you to manifest romance. It's going to be a good time for you to manifest love, manifest affairs. If you're, if you have a sneaky link or a few, whatever, do your thing. If you want to play more, play can be in adult sense, playing with other adults. If you're younger and you want to have more childhood healing, play. More creativity is going to be manifested for you, Leo rising. Fertility could be higher for you, Leo rising. Take that into precaution. Fertility with business, fertility with creativity, fertility with adult activities. Childlike spirit is a huge thing. Manifesting a childlike spirit is being innocent, being enjoying life. Yeah, this is the huge thing that you want to really focus on. Self-expression. This is going to be a good new moon for you, Leo rising, to focus on your self-expression and being dramatic. If you need to be a little dramatic, that makes complete sense. Now, you, Jawstring, why are you asking me questions on TikTok and you see I'm looking this direction? Are you crazy? It doesn't make sense. I just wanted to make fun of you again because that was weird. 6th house Sagittarius. If you are a Cancer rising, this new moon is going to help you focus on your health. It's going to help you focus on your fitness and manifest a more fit life. Systems are going to be new. So if you have systems in place in your life, like automatic bill pay, or what else? Like you have a car garage, or you use your alarm clock every morning. Systems are going to be new. I would invite you to have new systems in your life. Your analytical nature is going to go up a little bit. So if you study people already as a Cancer rising, just know that that will only go up a little bit. You'll be paying more attention to people in that way. Work, habits, service, organization, and pets. There could be new pets. There could be new habits. There could be new services that you're paying for or giving to people. New work habits that you're applying to your life or removing from your life that no longer serve you. Things like this will be happening for you, Cancer rising. If you are a Gemini rising, which I'm a Gemini rising progressed right now, this is the best time for you to be pursuing a relationship. This is the best time for you to be manifesting a relationship. How do you manifest a relationship, guys? And the girls, ladies and gentlemen, you need to talk to people. Yeah, you need to have conversations with people, going on dates. If you are staying and keeping to yourself for marriage, totally fine too. But also, if you want to find a husband or a wife, we need to be giving ourselves the opportunity to create that connection, which means writing our 10 things down, as in, I find the best relationship for me that is going to help my partner and I reach our goals. Set your manifestations up, especially if they have to do with other people. Make sure that you're manifesting for those other people, especially with 7th house. When I write my manifestations out tonight or tomorrow, it's going to be around marriage, contracts, business partners, equality, sharing, and my interpersonal style, because the 7th house handles all of those topics in your life. All right. So whenever I ask in a video, like, oh, what's your 7th house and what does your 7th house mean? Don't just say relationships, because it's so much more than that. It has to do with business partners. It has to do with your style. It's how you share things. All right. I have a Libra 7th house in my natal chart. So that's why I am a good communicator. Even though I have this bad Mercury placement, it gets kind of corrected with that Libra Jupiter that I have. Yeah. So 7th house is a very good house. If you're looking for marriage, if you're looking for a relationship, you definitely want to look at your 7th house. Your 7th house is going to tell you exactly who you really will fit well with in a relationship, in a business relationship, in a partnership, in a marriage, or in a merging of companies. So if you need help with that, if you need help figure out who your ideal partner is, who your ideal lover is, your ideal marriage partner, and where to find them, look at your 7th house. Book a reading with me if you'd like more help with that. Taurus rising. If you have a Taurus rising, the new moon is going to be in your 8th house. The 8th house has to do with sex, merging, intimacy, taxes, shared finances, partners, resources, inheritances, joint goals. So goals that you have with other people, property. So if you own property, land, assets, anything like that, 8th house, mystery, loans, and assets. So the new moon in the 8th house as a Taurus rising is really good because this could mean new sex, new merging, new intimacy, new shared finances, new partners, resources. Your partner could get a raise or they could get a new car, and now you also have a new car to drive. Yeah. New property, new mysteries, new loans, new assets. If you've been wanting to get a loan on a car, if you've been wanting to get a loan on a house, this is the right time to go for it. Aries rising. If you're Aries rising natal like me, same thing here. We're going to manifest new travel, new wisdom, new philosophy, new higher education, new law and religion topics, new cross-cultural interactions, relations, learning, and ethics, new learning. Learn something new. This is a great time to pick up a book. This is a great time to join a course. A lot of you should be enrolling yourself into my Astrology for Business course, or Manifest with Astrology course, excuse me. The course is really designed to teach you how to understand not only yourself and how to make content and how to make money, but also your chart. So this upcoming new moon, it's the right time to start. Yeah. So this is just so you know, shameless plug, Manifest with Astrology Academy. This is where I teach people. I've taught 150 people have already gone through this step by step. I teach you how to grow on social media. I teach you the mindset and execution. We talk about the algorithm. I teach you how to make content. I teach you how to read your chart. Using astrology to make business and make money is huge. I teach you, it takes about 5 weeks or less. You can go at your own pace, but I show you the basics of astrology. I show you how to use astrology for business. I show you how to use astrology to make money. I show you how to make content and make money, especially if you're a business owner. This is so important because now you'll be able to understand why during Sagittarius season you don't make as much money, and during Gemini season you make a lot of money. All right. And this is all in your chart, and it's very good for you to know how to time this stuff out. All right. Every Scorpio season, I make less money because it's my 8th house. I know it's a time for me to focus on giving. During Sagittarius and Capricorn season, because of my chart, I know that those are the times where I make the most money up through Pisces season. And then as soon as Aries season comes, I need to focus more on my body and my health again, because that's where my first house is. Yeah. So everyone's chart is designed in a very specific way. The more you tailor your life and your calendar and your schedule to your chart, the better. If you have 10th house Sagittarius, or if you're a Pisces rising, now is the time to focus on your career, long-term goals. You're going to have some new structures that you need to be putting in place. You're going to run into a new status. You're going to have a new public image. People could see you in a different way now. Fame might be coming into your life in a new way, especially if you're doing things in the public. Reputation will be new. If you have a masculine figure in your life, a new person could be more masculine than you, or you could be becoming more masculine right now during this new moon. Pisces rising, your father is going to be a huge topic for you this new moon, whether your father is alive or passed. We want to have that conversation about what does masculinity mean and how did you learn that from your father? Okay. Experts is the 10th house as well. So if you're an expert in something, Pisces rising, this is the right time to share that with people. Okay. Especially with men. For whatever reason, that's what the 10th house has to do with. So that's what we work with. Yeah. If you are a 11th house Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius rising, you're going to be entering new groups, new friends, new social awareness, new hopes, new actions around humanitarianism, which is where you're helping other people. You're also going to have some access to new technology, new wishes, and the future. The 11th house is a great house to be manifesting with because it is the house of wishes. So when you are manifesting Aquarius rising, just know that your manifestations are more likely to come through quickly for you because of the 11th house. If you are we already did, so yeah, that's everyone. We did the 12th house already. So that's the video, folks. I appreciate all of you so much. I hope this video brought you some value. It was an hour and looks like 11 minutes here. Yeah, we've covered the 3 best ways to manifest with this new moon. I think this is probably the most effective way to break things down for you. And I hope that you found some value in this. Make sure that if you have any questions or if you'd like a reading to go more in depth, you check out my website. Everything's 50% off right now for you. I think I'm going to be going live tomorrow too, just to cover some other topics that I think are important. But if all of you could say thank you to me, I'm going to say thank you to you, of course, for being here. And taking the time to process this with me. It's a lot of information, and I trust that the parts that were important for you stood out to you. And of course, please, again, make sure to subscribe to the channel. A lot of my content is going to be here because I think I can show you better on here than I can on TikTok. So if you ever see me make a video on something on TikTok, just know that the big video is going to be over here so that you can understand. Will there be any sales on the Academy, or is it 99 flat? I think I'm gonna actually, that $99 offer is already at a sale price. So it's $99 a month to learn everything everything that I just taught you, everything that I know in my head, I'm teaching you for $99 a month. I actually think I'm gonna get rid of that because I've noticed the people who are in the $99 a month program, I don't feel like I'm able to serve them. And right now, I would prefer to just do one price only. So if you wanted to hop into the $99 a month plan, you can, but I will be closing that at some point because that is a ridiculous price for what I'm teaching you. And if you do any of the things I say, you can make that $100 back in a day. You can make that $100 back in an hour. So I slept on that last night. I think I'm gonna get rid of it within the next couple of weeks here because that is way too inexpensive for what I'm teaching you. And I just need to be really honest with myself on that. Like, everything that I do, if you take the strategies and the tools and the things that I'm sharing with you and you apply them to your life, $100 is like your cell phone bill, and your cell phone is distracting you more than I am, right? And what I'm teaching you is it's gonna put you on course with your life for $100. I think that's a crazy price. So that's just where I'm at. I am gonna sleep on it again. I'll make a more final choice when I actually launch it on TikTok. But yeah, it's $99 a month or it's $99.9 for a year. Again, I'm really considering shifting that, but yeah, we will have that conversation when we need to. So yeah, if you all have any questions about anything, make sure to reach out to me. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Tomorrow, I think I'll be going over and covering what we'll be talking about in the podcast. I had to do 12 interviews over the last few weeks here to understand what y'all wanted to get from me in terms of content more. I understand I make very viral content, and sometimes y'all ask me hella fucking questions, and I cannot explain to you as well as I can here. So appreciate you all. I look forward to seeing you soon. Sag Moon gang, gang, gang. I'm a Sag Moon. This is going to be literally one of the best periods of the year. Usually after after the new moon in Sagittarius, everything goes right. So I'm excited for that. This whole year has been hard for me, losing my account 3 or 4 times now. I've been canceled multiple times. All kinds of stuff's happened. If you keep up with me, you know stuff's been happening on my end. But I still try to make sure I come and give back to y'all because I feel like y'all are the shit. So yeah, if you need help with the planets in your chart, reach out through the website, and make sure to give me a follow on Instagram. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.